All right, so I hope you were able to make it so that we have some sort of control over the text so that it doesn't overflow. Okay, so let's see how to do that. If we go to our text, either one of these, we can actually add the overflow, I believe. We can go ahead and say overflow. There we go, text overflow. And you can say text overflow. I'm going to use ellipses like that. Do the same thing, specifically, same thing with our book. That's test. All right, that looks really good. You can see now it cuts back. It says start scalable and there's nothing in there, okay? And so that's one option. You could use other options, that's fine. And the reason why this works best is because it will always control the space and make it so that it doesn't overflow. Okay, just something to keep in mind. Next, let's go ahead and make sure that the text here is styled. So for the title, I'm going to say style, and I'm going to say text style, because there's just a few things, or just one thing I want to change, which is the color. And I'm going to say hex color, and let's pass the hex color here. Okay, that should be good. The next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that each of these, when they are clicked like such, we want to do something, but specifically we want to make sure that we go and show the details page. So essentially it's going to be something like this. Okay, you click and then you have this pop-up dialog happening there, from where we are able to save or cancel this pop-up. Okay, save to our backend database. Let's go ahead and put this structure together. Now here's an exercise for you. So I want you to pause this video and do this exercise. It's very important. So I would like you to make part or this entire card clickable. So when it's clicked, I want you to pop up some dialog that says hello. Something very simple like that. Okay, go ahead, pause this video and go ahead and do that. Very well. I hope you were able to add a click event to either the entire card or part of the card. Doesn't really matter. All right, let's go ahead and see how to do that. So the most direct way to do this, it could be I could wrap this entire wrap or this entire card, if we wanted, into an inkwell so that the card is clickable. Or in this case, we have a list tile here, and I could do just that, because list tile itself, if you come down here inside of a list tile widget, you can still attach the on tap like that. Either way works. So then inside here, what we want to do, what I ask you to do is to show a dialog. How do you show a dialog? Well, you start by saying show dialog method, and this method will pass it context and also a builder. Remember, you can say control space to give us options here. So I'm going to pass these anonymous functions here. I'm going to use this one first, and this one requires us to return something. I'm going to return an alert dialog, and let's see what do we have. We have actions. Let's go to content and pass a text for now. As I said, the exercise, this is hello world. Okay, there we go, and finalize there. Let's see if this works. Okay, let's go back. Seems like whenever we do that, we need to go back here. Let's say testing Flutter, something like this, see what comes up. All right, maybe not books that we want, but it's okay. So now the great thing is that if you hover over, you can see that in our list tile area, they are highlighted when we hover over. So this is good. Click, hello world. Click out, click again, hello world. Very good. There it is, it's working. Now, because we want a structure such as this, you can see here, looks like we should have some sort of a column here. So we have items that are displayed vertically, top to bottom. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. So let's go back to our code here. It's alert dialog, there's that content, life is good, but instead of straight putting hello world there like this text, we're actually going to pass a column. Yes, you guessed it. Pass a column, And then column has children, where we can put all of the widgets. All right, so in this case here, I'm going to start with a container, okay, to structure everything. Right, this container, of course, has a child property. And the first thing I'm going to add, we need to add is another circle avatar here, where we're going to have the photo or the thumbnail of that book. So, circle avatar, I'm going to structure it. I'm going to add a background color. I'm going to say colors.transparent because I don't want to have any background for the circle avatar. Background image, in this case, I'm going to say network image as such, and I'm going to pass the source. Now, how do I get the source? Well, we have a book. I'm going to say book, and I'm going to get the photo URL as such. Okay. Let's say radius of about 50 because I want it to be circular. All right, so the next thing I want to have is, of course, this title of the book and then category at the bottom. So that's going to be a text. So we're still inside of our children here. So that means I can come down here and put comma separation. And I'm going to say text. And this text will have our book title. Again, book.title. And while I'm here, let's go ahead and wrap this in a padding. So padding, let's see, there it is. And 8, that's totally fine. Let's say style. And I'm going to use the theme of, right? And I'm going to say text theme. I am going to use the headline 4, so a little bit larger. And also I'm going to say copy with, because I'm going to load this with something else, right? In this case, I'm going to say font weight. It's going to be font bold, such font weight bold, like that. Very good. So nothing really out of this world. And next we're going to add this category as well as the author and all of these. So might as well just do them all before we start testing things. I'm going to do the same thing. It's going to be pretty much the same as this, so I can just copy this, then add it below there. This is going to be category. In this case here, I want to put this inside of curly brace, inside of string, which means I have to go something like this to get the actual variable. Okay. And I'm going to append category like this. And I'm going to remove this style because we won't need that style at all. We're just going to leave as it is. Okay, let's do the same thing. Let's get the page count. Copy that, put it below here. It's going to be page count. Say page count. This, and then at the bottom here I'm going to just put a text. Let's say that will say author, book, author. Let's finalize there. Copy that and do the same thing in this case. Now we're going to have publisher. These are fields that we want. You can add as many fields as you want. That's fine. This is what I've chosen. So say book that publish date. That's what it is. Not publishers. Published. That's what I need. All right. All right. I think it's time for us to check to make sure that things are actually looking the way we're expecting them to look like. Okay. Let's go ahead and say Flutter development and check. Click. Looking real good. You can see there is that image there. There's the title and category Flutter, page count, all is good. Before you go to the next video, I want you to finalize this. So I want you to make sure that let's see, what do we have here? Author, published. And next, I want you to create this structure here. So this is going to be a container. And inside of this container we're going to add this single child scroll view. That's where what I want you to do is to pass in the book description to get the description of the book. Go ahead and do that before you go to the next video.